What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. In this video, I'm going to talk about the big kahuna, the biggest airdrop that we have on the horizon in 2024 in zkSync. So glad I usually screw it up and say zkSwap, but this has been a heavily anticipated airdrop. A ton of people have been talking about it over the last 12 months, and following the Arbitrum airdrop, this has been so hyped up. Not just this, but Layer Zero, which I will make another video on later. But I wanted to cover this because there is very strong signals that we've been seeing that zkSync will have an airdrop. In fact, a lot of the protocols that are in it also are starting to announce their airdrops. And you're probably wondering, hey, does this guy not take a break? Like literally it's December 29th and he's sitting here posting another video. Well, there's something I need you to do in December because that is so imperative to help you make sure that you get your airdrop if and when it gets announced. So before we get started, remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. Do your own research and do your own research. Can't say that enough times. We are a couple days away from the new year. So if you're watching this video prior to 2024, I want to wish you Happy New Year. Hope you're having a great holiday. And also, this is very time sensitive. Now, people probably wondering, zkSwap, I see a lot of ZK and everything in it. ZK stands for zero knowledge, and it's basically a proof system. I'm not going to get into the details, but with completeness, soundness, and zero knowledge, and it provides that specifically. The goal here is to reduce the gas fees on the Ethereum chain, right? So this is an Ethereum technology. And the goal here is to build this technology, bring it to Ethereum, and hopefully improve the user experience, right? So this is making Ethereum much more scalable and much more user-friendly. Because I'm sure you've seen it. When you go on Ethereum, the gas fees are such a turnoff. I won't lie, there's so many times where I don't want to put my money on Ethereum because there are so many better places to do it. Like Arbitrum is way better because the gas fees are much lower. There are so many different types of technologies, almost like an arms race to find a way to scale the Ethereum technology in the best way. This is one such example. I am not sort of the smartest person when it comes to this. Actually, I would talk to Christian Peter. I would definitely follow him on YouTube, Christian Peter. He knows a lot about sort of the differences between the Ethereum technologies. But that being said, you're here for the airdrop and not to sort of learn a bit about this. If you want to learn a bit about this, maybe we'll do a collaboration stream discussing it. So the first step, and I always recommend you do this, find the official project on Twitter and follow them. So zkSync, I put the link in the description below. Make sure you're following them. Make sure that you're hearing all the updates. Okay. Now, what was really cool, and today one of my community members brought this to my attention. His name is Projo, really smart guy, does a ton of airdrop farming. In fact, he was part of the OG squad for DFK buying Gen Zero. One of his Gen Zeros was worth over 150K at one point. Pretty rad. But he put me onto this game, and this game is ZK Flow. And what this does is it helps you. When we do airdrop hunting, typically, I don't want to say we're shooting in the dark, but you get a list of instructions, and you're like, did I do it right? Did I do enough? Am I in the ballpark of what I need to do? What ZK Flow has done is, I don't think this is, obviously, since this is not a confirmed airdrop, there's no official criteria, but they've used criteria from previous airdrops, like previous big airdrops, to estimate where they think that this will land, especially given a lot of the advice. So let me show you an example. What you do is you type in your address here. I've done that already. When you do that, here's my wallet. You can see the wallet information. This is the one I share with you guys on YouTube all the time. Spades Investing, for example. Ignore this ad. What this will tell you, the first part of the dashboard is interactions. So 107 interactions. 64 of which was the last 7 days. I'll be honest with you, 64 of those 7-day transactions were in the last 24 hours. Once I saw how far away I was from achieving what they wanted. The next is volume. So $22,000 worth of volume, 14,900 in the last 7 days, same deal. $47 worth of gas spent, 1662 in the last 7 days. And then 46 contracts that I've interacted with, 28 of which were interacted with in the last 7 days. So this gives you an idea, but hey, this is sort of our own stats. Where do we need to go? Well, the beauty about this is if you scroll down, it gives you a lot of statistics. So the first is last activity 4 hours ago, zkSync Lite interactions 24. This is very important. I'm going to cover why in a second. And then zkSync last activity 11 days ago, unique days 17, unique weeks 8, unique months 5. A lot of protocols want to make sure you're not just going in here and airdrop farming a ton on one day and then never coming back. So they're looking to see, are you coming on multiple days, multiple weeks, multiple months? On top of it, how's your activity? Are you only interacting with the same contract? Not good enough. So here are some of the gates that they're recommending. And the airdrop eligibility simulator, right? So simulator, a minimum of 3 points total are required to be eligible. If you score less than 3 points, all criteria will be crossed out. I've currently scored on 10 out of 17. My goal is to get to 15, 16, or 17 out of 17. Based on what they're saying, I should be eligible for 6750 of the zkSync token. So the first step is bridging to zkSync, right? That you just sort of use a native bridge to zkSync Era, and that's this link. So from here, it's called the zkSync bridge, and you can actually find the link to this and all of the sort of things below by just finding the platform down here, clicking on it, and it'll open up a page. We'll show you that in a second. But you know what? Maybe we'll start with activity on zkSync Lite. So there are 3 gates here. The bronze gate is 3 transactions, silver is 5, and gold is 10. I'm at 24, so I crushed this one inadvertently. If you want, and I think you don't need to do zkSync Lite that much because that was a transitioned out platform. This is zkSync 1.0. What you can do, check the link in the description below. Go to that link, it'll take you to this page, zkSync over here. You connect your L1 ETH wallet to start, and then you can basically, where is it? You click on the account tab. It's just gonna go back here, and you can sort of bridge from Ethereum to zkSync. You can also go to NFTs here, and you can mint an NFT. You see, I've done one here, I've already done that. So there's a couple transactions and stuff you can do here. Not that much. I wouldn't worry about it. Just make sure you've done some interactions on the platform. By doing those interactions, whether it's a swap or anything like that, and the swap will load up Zigzag Exchange, you're just getting the interactions you want. So buy some Ethereum, sell some Ethereum, right? You can bridge through this through Zigzag. You can even do sort of these limit orders and submissions, right? All are different contracts. Get that out of the way, then go back here and refresh the page. My recommendation is sometimes it takes a little while for some of the contracts to give an update. Some are instantaneous, so you never really know, right? So one could be good, one might not be. So that's the first thing. The next thing I would recommend you do is try to, this is just a yes or no. Did you bridge some to zkSync Era? Focus more on assets bridge to zkSync. So I have not hit these yet. I will. Deposited 10K in Ethereum. My plan is to basically go on this bridge, TX bridge. It'll cost me like $10 each time I do it. Send over $3,000, send it back. Send over $3,000, send it back. Send over $3,000, send it back. That should get me, really close to 10K. And then I paid $30 for it, sure, but the airdrop reward should be significantly higher. Think about this like a calculated bet, right? And then you can check this over time. The reason I'm making this video today is you need to have transactions in unique months. Well, we're about to end December. So if you see this in January, you're out of luck. You can't get the credit for December. You need to do transactions at least every, distinct 2 months, 6 distinct months, 9 distinct months. So on January 1st, when I make my transaction here, this thing will turn green as well. Now, some people have been doing this for the last 12 months, so they're good. But if you're not, you need as many months as possible. Even if you do just a second transaction, you do 3 transactions, 6 transactions over one every different month, you're golden to get this one. Then, so these are all different gates. The other thing you should do is transaction interaction. So it's not just, hey, I have done, a few transactions. What you want to do is, I think, because this one says, okay, you can do either or, right? You can do 25 swaps back and forth. I want to do as much as possible to get the 100 different contracts and 100 transactions. And the reason for that is this is a simulator. This is not set in stone. So one of the things I would do if I'm zkSync is I don't want people airdrop farming, going to one of the platforms like ThinkSwap and just trade Ethereum back and forth for USDC. That's pointless and that doesn't help the platform. The whole idea is to bring awareness to all the tools out here, right? And then finally, transaction value. This morning, the transaction value was 2,000 US, now 22,000. This is where, the swaps back and forth help. So let me show you an example of this. So conducted transactions, I'm currently at 22,009.67. Let's go back here and let's look at ThinkSwap. Where are we here? Should be here. Here we go, ThinkSwap. So I click on this, and like I said, every time you go in and pick whatever you want to check out, click on it, it'll open it up for you. I'm now going to zoom in and I'm going to put 0.1 and see what it gets me. So you see here, by trading $230.61, I'll get 229.92. I lose 70 cents for that transaction, 17 cents in gas, and they refund all the unused gas fees. What happens if I put 0.2? Let's just check. So 0.2, there's more of a loss. Actually, is it the same? This one is 60, so 62 plus 8, 70 cents. It's $1.40. Yeah, it's $1.40. So here, we'll do this one, okay? Sometimes if you do too much of it, so let's say you do 0.9, then you may have some slippage. And what that does is it actually makes it not just a sort of straight formula, you end up paying a little bit more, and I don't want to lose more. So I'm losing $1.40 on this transaction one way, and another $1.40 on the way back. But now that I've done that, I'm now going to go back here, put 100% USDC to this, hit swap again. Like I said, yes, I'm paying a few dollars. If you use Ethereum, you have paid $20 at some point. You paid $50 at a point to do a transaction. This is nothing. And like I said, I'm doing this for a substantial reward. So this has been done. And as you remember, we have done, where is it? We've done, it already updated, 22,168. You see, 22,009. Let's look now at transaction value, 23,084. I want to get up to at least 50,000. 250,000 is a lot, but 50,000 is reasonable, and I want to sort of earn that gate to get me a bunch more tokens. Remember, the goal here, at least the way I'm seeing this, is to maximize my airdrop potential by hitting all of the gates. And then you can do things I'll just show you a few more examples. So there's a sports betting platform here called Gold3. So I'm going to click on Gold3 right here. What it will do is it'll open up a platform. Now I'm seeing a different window than you are. And what I mean by that is when you open it for the first time, you have to sign 3 contracts, which is great. Why? It's just confirming stuff and you're getting additional transactions on the actual platform. So you get 3 transactions just for opening it up. Then in the lobby, you can actually go in, and if you use Sync Swap again, you could change some Ethereum or USDC into what's called zkUSD, right? And so like 10 USDC is like $9.99, okay? And then what you do is you can then go into goal 3, and in goal 3, you can click on like a football match. So this is Premier League. So we call it football, it's, American soccer basically. And this, there are more ways to gamble. I'm not going to go into, maybe I will, but Luton versus Chelsea. Luton's getting a way better odds at 5.39 that they're going to win because they're a huge underdog to Chelsea. A draw is also very unlikely. Chelsea's, they got a way better chance of winning, obviously, but it's soccer. So like typically what you'll see happen is either a draw or Chelsea's going to win. Now, if you're more of a degenerate, you can go in here and actually bet on very specific nuances, right? Now, I'm not here to do this because I don't really like sports gambling. I don't really watch sports enough to be familiar, but I'm just going to go with the sort of safer bet, which is I'm going to pick Chelsea to win, and I'm going to pick Aston Villa to win. And by doing that, so let's say I click on this, you just go in here. I put the amount already before at 10 zkUSD. Remember, that's why you change it here in Sync Swap. And then once you're done that, you just hit submit, and it's good to go, right? And the potential win is 13.68. So let me show you the bets I've made. So here are the 2 bets I made, exactly what I said. So Luton versus Chelsea, I actually locked it in at a worse rate because earlier Chelsea was even more of a favorite to win. But if they win, I get 14.78 zkUSD. And then for Aston Villa, if they win, I get 13.49 zkUSD, right? So they paid their fees. Once again, this was 2 contract interactions. This was me playing around with the platform and seeing it and learning it. So I hope that sort of makes some sense. And then there are other things you can do as well. So you can actually go in. So this is Fulcrum Finance. This is another one of the platforms. You can go in here and you can actually use leverage to long or to short any of your favorite cryptocurrencies. Well, I think actually, I don't know if it's any, but I know you can do it for Ethereum. I know you could do it for like BTC. So if you think BTC is going to skyrocket in the next few weeks, let's just say, you'd go here and you put like 0.1 ETH or whatever you want, 0.1 ETH. You can put your leverage at like, all the way up to like 29.9 or whatever, or even there's an insane mode. So let's just go there, 100, right? You got to stake, but you got to stake 300 FLP to do it. So I haven't done that. But when you do this, let's say I put 2 leverage, my liquidation price on Bitcoin is when Bitcoin goes to 21,440. So I don't lose until then. However, there is a borrow rate. So the borrow rate is calculated at 0.0069% per hour, right? So it's not like it's just free, but you can sort of do it, and then you can click and create, like your take profit. Now I did it earlier just to get a contract thing in, and I ended up losing 7 cents overall. And the reason was, once again, this wasn't for me to put a long bet out there, but just to get the contract interaction. So like that's pretty much all of what you want to see here. Like I said, I did a ton of interactions with all these platforms. I want to, as much as possible, get at least 1 interaction on every single thing, and then have big interactions on some of the bigger platforms like zkSwap, SyncSwap, Orbiter. Orbiter is like the bridge, so that's a bridge out as well. You can use them, or you can use the zkSync bridge. But either way, it doesn't matter as long as you get these criteria above taken care of. And as you do it, go back, refresh, see how you're doing, and come and do this over a period of time. The goal here, once again, is not to do it all in one day, but to have interactions over unique months, unique weeks, and unique days. Unique months has been a factor. In Arbitrum, it was a significant reason why I got such a small airdrop, is because I didn't do it. I didn't spread things out over a long period of time. I didn't think you had to. I learned my lesson, and this is why I'm doing a bunch of this stuff now. I'm going to do a ton of this on January 1st, January 2nd, whatever, to sort of build up my volume, build up my transactions, build up the assets that I've bridged, get these to a point where it's green. I don't know if I'll get to 250K on transaction value, but 100%, I have no excuse. No one has any excuse for not having transactions over time being at the full amount or at least in the middle point. And the assets bridged, I'm also going to go for 50K. Or yeah, 50K would be ideal. So those are the two that I'm planning on doing. Everything else, I sort of have green here anyways, and I want to have this green. So my plan is most likely being around 15 out of 17 completed tasks. So I hope that helped. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about zkSync. If you're participating in the airdrop, when you started, would love to hear it. And also, like I said, if you found any value in this video, I'd appreciate it if you liked, if you shared the video, and if you subscribed. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.